Yep, that's right. We on Eagles Wear Boxing. We on that. I'm gonna catch you when I catch you. Stream. We on that. I'm running late stream. We on that Eagles Wear Boxing though. We gonna try to wrap it up quick or something like that, man. I know y'all out there. Y'all probably impatient. Where Eagle at? Eagles here. We gonna get in it. Let's shut this down. Was that it? Yeah, it looks like my sound is up. Okay, looks like the sound, I think it's on. It says that the Eagle sound is going. Y'all, somebody let me know if the Eagle sound is on, because I don't want the Eagle sound to be going. These things are like set up backwards. I don't get it. It's like my sounds is set up backwards. It's like they're titled wrong. I'm like, how would that happen? How could your sound, how could your sound be titled wrong? It doesn't make sense. Let me see. If I turn, no, nothing's changed. All right. I'll just wait and see. Somebody come through. Once somebody come through, y'all let me know if my sound's okay. So cause I cannot tell. This thing is acting stupid today. And then we just gonna talk a little bit today about the trip. The ride that we've been going on. And we've been going on quite a ride here. And we're going to talk about that a little bit, about the ride. And I had to really go back and think, my little observations and stuff. I have to think about this whole, this weekend, the weekend of boxing. Specifically Sunday. Specifically Sunday, we're going to talk about that, So I don't know how much participation I have. I know I should have at least. Well, maybe they don't come in because they don't pay attention to my stream, or maybe they did because I got my couple of trolls that have to give me my thumbs down. So I have that to look forward to. But also, I just wanted to holler at y'all a little bit today too. You know how we do. Eagles Way of Boxing, and I got a couple of more subs, so 2 at a time. Yeah. 2 at a time. Just come on in, 2 at a time. 2 at a time is good. Yeah. We got 2 at a time, so 2 at a time, that's fine. We can do 2 at a time, or 3 at a time, 4 at a time, however y'all want to do it. But I just want to express my opinion. I guess yeah, we could look at it as being an opinion. I'm not gonna say it's anything other than that, because everybody has opinions about certain stuff, and I don't know. One person's understanding and one person's technique is not necessarily what it is in any sport, because if that was the case, then everybody would be able to do the same thing, and everybody would be able to have the same result. But that just doesn't happen. I can see a lot of people they have their mouthpiece about, this or that, whatever it might be. And a lot of times, things don't work out. Even when it comes to boxing, I mean, you can have all the knowledge, that you can have all the great trainers and stuff. And see, that's where fans make one of their mistakes is. See, a fan, I didn't say a fanboy or fangirl, but what a fan does is let's say, for instance, your fighter loses a fight. So your fighter loses a fight, and so what happens after your fighter loses a fight? He goes back to, a lot of people might want to call it, the drawing board. He goes He goes out and gets another couple of trainers, and what happens is with us as fans a lot of times is we think that's the solution. Like, oh yeah, he went out and got this as a trainer. He went and got him as a trainer, or he's gonna come back like that, and we still do it. We still do that, because we think that it's gonna be spectacular because they wouldn't got the best trainer that they could get. And here we go with the peely nose. The sun must be getting me. Yeah, I have that syndrome. Sorry about that. But I can take more heat than the rest of y'all. I can still take more heat. My nose is the only thing that I got that is too big. It absorbs too much sun, and so it gets itchy and peely. But that's it. That's the only part of my face. The rest of my face is like is a beast. It just takes that sun like, come on, son, give it to me. You ain't doing nothing here. The sun is not gonna bother no other part, but that nose, I don't know what it is, man. Has a mind of its own when it comes to that sun. So you think that, as a fan, a lot of times you think that, oh yeah, I got the best training and stuff like that coming up, but a lot of times it's not the pieces of the puzzle that don't fit. It's the placement. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like the puzzle fits. All the puzzle pieces is all put together. But you got to realize that a puzzle is just that. A puzzle is pieces that are put together. You got all the pieces put together. See, it's not like a cake or something like that. Cake, you put all the ingredients, and those are the pieces. But then when they cook together, now you got a whole piece. A puzzle is never, even though you complete the puzzle, but there's different levels of puzzles too, though. But when you put all the pieces in, it's like, okay, it looks good. It just looks good, but it's not the original. It's not like a cake. A cake, once you put all the ingredients together, they look completely different. Same thing with the puzzle. You got pieces laying all over the table, everywhere. But you put it together, then what do you got now? It's completed, but there's levels to that puzzle. So your puzzle's complete, but say your mental stability is not there. Now your puzzle's complete, but that's because that was never addressed as being a part of that puzzle. You see what I mean? It's not like somebody's stamina or something. Like somebody's got to work on stamina because they got the courage and they got those the things. I want to fight. That's what I want to do. I got the courage to go out there and go forward and adapt and whatever I got to do to go forward. You know what I mean? And number 3, I got that killer instinct. Yeah, I'm gonna finish him or he gonna finish me. But no, I'm gonna finish him. That killer instinct. Let's say one of those was missing, but you put all your, you had all your technique down, and you had all the training you need, stamina, everything else. But let's say one of those 3 things is missing. If one of those 3 things is missing, then you can forget it. You can forget it. It's going to be a wrap for you. That's it. That's your rap sheet. It's going to be a wrap for you. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. It's going to be a wrap. And you're going to be upset. Like, what the hell happened? No, nothing happened. Nothing at all happened. You just didn't have what it takes. And sometimes what happens is even the corner, now your corner is highly responsible for you. But at the end of the day, you're the one that has to get that done, right? You have to get it done, not the corner. Okay. Now, going in, what they say, that's rolling into the subject now. A lot of people did a lot of talking. And we'll talk about this first, too, though. But a lot of people did a lot of talking about the whole Mayweather fiasco. I mean, he told you that he's robbing banks in the first place. Okay, so what did you expect to happen? The guy, from what my observation is, this guy that he fought, right? There's really no boxer. I mean, everybody can look good. You can look good on pads and on the bag and all that. He's really not really a boxer. He's an athlete. He was a lot bigger, and I'm not even gonna fry him that much at like during his press conference, and just you hear enough of it. I'm not really gonna I'm not gonna fry him. Not for that. I see my brother D-Lo 404 out there. Salute. Yeah, I end up coming on late, brother. Yeah. So I'm not gonna fry him for that. I'm gonna talk bad about him a little bit on that. But here's the point. The biggest point is that you knew it was gonna be a robbery in the first place. Okay, yeah, D-Lo said the volume seems low. I don't know what it is, brother. Something happened to where I came in, and this stupid thing is it just ain't acting right for some reason. It switched my icons up. You know what I mean? My icons got switched up, and I don't know. I should be talking. For me, I'm talking loud. For me, that's for me. And I don't want to try to redo something. Okay, I could do it this way. I can do it this way though. Let me check out one thing. Maybe I can do, and maybe this will work. So we'll see. We'll see if this works. So we'll see if this works. So, yeah. So let me just see. Yeah, that's crazy because I don't know. Now the other one disappeared. Because what happened is I had the eagle voice on there, and that shouldn't have been what it is. Okay, I turned this up too though. So let me know if that's better. That might be better right there. Yeah. So it might be good. Okay. So what I did is I just because for some reason it switched up. This whole program switched up, and so what happened when it switched up? It's telling me that I have my eagle sound on. I'm like, I don't have the eagle sound on. But if I turned the eagle sound off, then I didn't have a mic at all. I'm like, okay, so that's not good. So some of these I probably have to delete some of them just to make sure that I got that I actually have the video going. Oh, he said there's more feedback. Let me see. What else could I do? Because I don't like to. Okay, let me see. I'll try one more thing. And maybe this thing is just acting up right now. And that might be the case. Sometimes, man, shouldn't have no feedback. But let me turn it down. You said now it was feedback, and all right. Well, I can't hear it at all. So for me, but anyway, we're gonna try to make it through there. Hopefully we can make it through. Hopefully make it through this thing without no problems or nothing like that. Yeah. But the Mayweather robbery and stuff like that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So, but if you can at least hear me, just put up a one, and we'll just struggle through this. I don't have nobody. This is just me works everything. Nobody to work on anything technical here. Just me. So, and it looks like from my end, maybe it might be YouTube or Streamlabs or something like that, because I can actually see the feedback. I can see every time I speak, I can actually see what's going on. You know what I mean? I could see that it's working, In other words, so it should, if it's working here, it should be working out there. Yeah, but I'm not gonna get on to Paul as much. But you should have known. We should have known. This is the thing: is we should have known that. Okay, D to the Betty said that I'm clear. Now we should have known that we was being robbed because Mayweather told. See, the one thing about Mayweather, he's pretty smart. He's told you it wasn't boxing. At the same time, he made it seem like it was gonna be boxing, right? But he made it clear before. You gotta listen to what Mayweather says. You gotta listen to what he says. When if he tell you it's gonna be a robbery or whatever, he robbing banks, then that's what he's doing. Y'all we got to realize that. I know a lot of us was probably expecting that. Well, maybe Mayweather can put him out, but you got to have somebody that's participating. Okay, this is my observation, is that you got to have somebody that's actually participating, in order to get knocked out. This guy probably was 200 pounds or something like that. Probably had 50 pounds on Mayweather going into the fight. I wouldn't doubt it. If he rehydrated. Well, then again, he didn't have to really. He just had to make a certain weight. He probably doesn't walk around very much heavier than what he went into the ring. So maybe he only put on 5 pounds. But still close to 200 pounds. Whatever. 40, 50 pounds heavier than Mayweather. It's hard for Mayweather to, get this guy, to participate. But the guy did have he had a nice little knot in the corner of his eye because he did get clipped. But he was ready to dive in. Anytime he took a punch, he was ready to dive in and hold and hug and all that. And I think Mayweather knew that. He knew that the guy was just more of a mouthpiece than anything. Somebody will take him out, and then this whole thing will be over with. The smaller guys have to stop. If you're a boxer, you smaller boxers, you're probably not going to beat those guys in any kind of exhibition for a short amount of time. Because you're probably going to need at least, if you're small, you might need 9 to 10 rounds to take one of them out. I'm just letting you know. That's how long you're going to take, because they can hold. They're athletic. At least this one is pretty athletic. They can hold on for that long. They can smother you and hold on. If you're not fighting real smart, you're gonna have to have a little bit of size on you to, like, a bigger fighter. I would say at least a middleweight. Yeah. So, yeah, but he came in. Yeah, he had to come in. I think he couldn't weigh no more than 190 or something like that. 189, 190. So he came in. I think it was like 189. So that's actually heavyweight. That's still heavyweight. So you got either a welterweight or super welterweight fighting a heavyweight. And the welterweight was retired, even though he's fighting somebody who's not not really a professional, but wants to be a professional. Because Dilo404 says, ESPN said he had to come down from 205. Okay, so if he came down from 205, it wasn't that. It's 15 pounds. It's not really that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's not a huge deal. But you knew but he would have got knocked out. And I know I don't like Mayweather like that, but he would have got knocked out. Not Mayweather, but he would have got knocked out. He was getting tired. But because of his range and because he would never come forward. See, Mayweather was... See, this is what I think. I'm not going to call it a complete fraud. I know Mayweather warned us that it might be just a bank robbery. But this is what I felt happened. What I felt happened is the stage was too big for this guy. And he didn't just come at Mayweather, because a lot of rounds they were just posturing and he was just holding his arm out. Yeah. So posturing and just doing this, that's not even fainting. Just like a whole body posture. So they was just doing that a lot. The guy he should have came. This is what Mayweather wanted him to do. He didn't do what like a guy off the street does. A guy off the street just comes, oh, you little man, I can take you. And just comes charging forward and throwing punches. And so Mayweather was he wanted to do anything where he can get like a check hook off. I think he got one off. He might have got a couple of them off. Because anytime this guy Paul, anytime he made a mistake, he was getting hit, but it was just too much of a body, so he was just like falling forward, and then going straight into grab mode, hugging and holding and swinging low. Punches are way too wide, and Floyd just couldn't clip him enough. It wasn't no plaything. People think it was just a setup. It wasn't no plaything because you don't come out of a fight with a knot on your eye if it's play. I mean, Mayweather was trying to crack him, but it didn't work out. Mayweather was just trying to bait, and I don't know how this guy was reading the traps so well, but I don't even know if he was really reading the traps. I think just the way he was fighting was keeping him from running into any traps. I mean, he still ran into some traps, but it wasn't as severe because he never ran into like a 4-piece. He'll take 1 or 2, and then he's swinging back or just trying to grab. None of his stuff was working. None of his uppercut, none of his shit was working. But just that long range and stuff like that, being over 6 feet tall, and just being rangy like that, because he didn't have enough reach on Mayweather, but because of his long legs and torso and body and stuff, that made up for the reach. That made up for the reach. So I don't think it was a complete. Like a lot of people think it might have been a complete exhibition. I really don't think it was. Mayweather couldn't hate the guy as much as he wanted to because the guy was giving him a paycheck. You know what I mean? Even after all, because Mayweather could have came in like just heavy. It just came right at him. He could have just came right at him, but he didn't. He was walking him down, but he didn't come. You can see, okay, wait, so he's not that mad because he didn't just come out and just right away throw a haymaker. And see, a lot of times that's what you have to do. And we're going to talk about that fight with the haymakers, but that made a lot of sense. And that was Arias, because Arias came out and was throwing haymakers. And I told y'all that is very effective. If you're a skilled boxer, that is very effective to come out and just start throwing haymakers. Because you dictate the fight that way. Because you change what the fighter's going to do. Because you're saying, my haymakers are going to determine how this fight goes. I'm gonna get him on my game plan. You feel me? So you get him on your game plan because of the haymakers. The haymakers, okay. So now, I got to fight that way. That changed my whole game plan. But like I said, this guy was just not. He was not cooperating. He was in defensive mode the whole time. From round 1, he was already like, nah, I'm not gonna let him hit me. Well, you said you had nothing to lose, so we knew after the first round. I knew it was all hype. I said, this guy don't want to fight. I knew he didn't want to fight. He was all hype. It doesn't matter if he wins. I'm not expected to win, but everybody's gonna be surprised. I'm gonna do this and do that. That was all mouthpiecing. He was selling. And it's up to his own fans to tell him, man, you didn't do shit, man. That's up to his fans. I'm not a fan of his. I don't know nothing about these guys. But it's up to his fans to check him like, man, you didn't go out there to try to fight and win. You was out there trying to survive. He has to have some real fight fans that actually know this on his forum and let him know you didn't bring it to him. That small, older man, he's old and small, and you didn't do shit. Everybody says that about Mayweather. Old, small, can't punch, can't do this, but nobody ever takes his head off. Why? It must be something that he does in there when you're in there. We see one thing, but you guys, if you're in the ring with him, you must be seeing something completely different. You must be like, oh shit, he's all covered up. I thought I was going to be able to land this. Once you realize you can't do shit, then that just changes your whole outlook. But this guy comes in there and he already know I can't do shit. I can't do shit. He already knew he couldn't do nothing. So when you come in knowing you can't do nothing, it's already over with. It's already a wrap. So you just in that Mikey mode, shrimp mode. I'm just gonna shell up, and I'm just voicing. This is my take on it, and I can only voice my take. I can't voice other people's take, and just don't take my word for it. Even when it comes to training boxing, and when it comes to like throwing punches and stuff, like a lot of people will think that they know the count on combinations when somebody's training. Nobody knows that because gyms are different. The two punches that you can understand that is a 1 and a 2, and this is for an orthodox fighter because the trainer might call out something else, is a 1-2. A 1-2 is a jab in the right hand. Those are the only two punches that are consistent, no matter nationally and probably I would say worldwide. The 1 and 2 as a punch are going to be the two punches that are consistent when it comes to training. Now, 3 or 4 might be something different. It might be a left hook and a right hook. A 5 and 6 might be a left uppercut and a right uppercut. A 7, 8 might be a step back, might be a power, a power hook, or it might be a power jab, and a 8 might be an overhand. But some people say that a 4 is an overhand, or something like that. But it's not always consistent. That's all I'm letting you guys know. So don't get confused when people talk to you about boxing and about the combination. Just know that the 1 and 2 is usually consistent. Anything else, it might just be different. Yeah. But anyway, let me go get back at y'all and give y'all your proper salutes and stuff like that. D-Lo 404, salute to you again. He said salute to Eagles Web. He said the volume seemed a little bit low, brother. Sound like one of them good old updates got you. Yeah, it probably was. It was a sneak update though, because usually they let me know when I'm cutting on. They'll say it's updated, and then as soon as it says that there's an update, I always go like, oh no, what are you gonna kill on my damn on my platform today? Mics or screens, or what you guys gonna do? Yep. Yeah. Badillo said louder, but more feedback. And then Derek Bailey up in there, salute to Derek Bailey again. He said salute at Eagles Web Boxing. D-Lo said better now, salute at Derek Bailey said salute at D-Lo 404. And then Derek Bailey said, yeah, he said you are clear. And then D-Lo 404 is salute at Derek Bailey. ESPN said that he had to come down from 205. Okay, so that wasn't a big deal. So he just went right back up. Once he ate and drank, he went right back up. And then D-Lo 404 said right. So he likely rehydrate to at least 200. Probably, at least. At minimum, I'm saying at least 200. So heavyweight. Yeah, Derek Bailey. Well, and good for looking out, Derek Bailey, about your friend. They gave me that. They gave me the rights to try to look in on it. You know what I mean? It was hard. It didn't work out at first, but it finally worked out a little bit. For the most part, I caught everything, and that's why I have my observation. My observation is just that it wasn't meant to be a fight. It wasn't even meant to be an exhibition. And whoever paid for it or whoever watched it, just be thankful that you got what you got, because it wasn't set up like that. It was, see, this is the difference. It was advertised as being an exhibition. And it was advertised vocally that it was going to be more than an exhibition, that it was going to be a fight. But it was not, because the participant that was the bigger guy that was coming in with the mouthpiece, he was just there to get paid, and that's why he wasn't nervous. He said, I'm not getting butterflies, and that might have been bullshit too, because you in front of that many people and you ain't got, something's wrong with you. If you have no feelings, and you see what I mean? If you have no feelings and you going into something like that, if I went into something like that and I knew that I was the clear winner, I still have butterflies. Like, say for instance, I know I was going to fight somebody around my size or whatever like that. He's never had a fight or nothing like that. And I was going in there, I'm like, I know on the inside I said, I'm going to take him out. But then my whole plan's in my mind. I don't know, should I mess with him a little bit or should I just take him out with a couple of punches? A lot of things is going through my mind. So I'm going to be a little bit like, I'm not going to shake, but I'm going to be like a little jittery, like, God dang, I mean, yeah, this is real. Thousands of people out there yelling. Yeah. So that's all hype. It was all his straight up bullshit. And I could tell what he was saying afterwards, of course. If Mike Tyson says that you're going to get knocked out, and if a lot of people are saying you're going to get knocked out and you didn't get knocked out, then that was your intention for the whole thing. Your intention was just not to get knocked out. And this is a sad state for boxing that we even got to talk about this. That was your whole state. Your state was, I'm not getting knocked out. That was it. It wasn't that I was The only thing that was truthful about what you said is like you wasn't truthful about, oh, I'm gonna be the first person that everybody's gonna be surprised I'm gonna knock Mayweather out. And you didn't believe that, and nobody believed that shit. What you meant to say is I'm gonna survive Mayweather. I mean, people have survived Mayweather. A professional boxer, Mikey Garcia, survived Earl Spence, and everybody makes a big deal out of it. Earl didn't beat him up as bad, but ask Mike if he wants to fight Earl again. I bet you he's at welterweight now. Does he want to fight Earl again? Earl will take his ass out just for one more time, and Earl will knock him out. If they fight again, Earl will knock his ass out. Believe that, Earl will knock him out if he don't quit, or if the corner don't throw in the towel, because Earl will smash him down. In my estimation, Earl will beat him real bad. Will beat him completely up. Yep. But Derek Baker said, but I only saw the Badu fight and Mayweather fight. The Badu was good. Now I'm speaking about it because I need to talk about it, because Badu, a lot of people disrespect Badu. You know what? I just want to say this about Badu Jack. He's 37 years old. Okay, he wants to move up to cruiserweight. He's a warrior. He's more of a warrior than a lot of these other fighters. He's so disciplined. And see, this, you got to understand this about him. And this is my observation. And it's because he's a Muslim, a dedicated Muslim. And that's what, and I know a lot of people don't believe in the religion and stuff like that, but he's dedicated. He has a purpose. He doesn't go crazy. So a lot of people, you're not going to see the killer instinct and stuff like that. But I was watching that his skill set, and people don't look at him. They don't appreciate him. Think he's just basic. No, he has a high boxing IQ. But he doesn't really fit in boxing because I think he's more of a humanitarian. And that's hard to be a humanitarian as you're a fighter at the same time. But I was looking at the way he puts his work together, man. This nice, everything is just so tight. I see why Pascal had to go do drugs. Because you don't want a guy like that technically sound to come at you. Yeah. But he's real tight. The only thing I would like for him to do a lot better is I would like him to speed up. Like on his jab. I'd like for Badu, I would like for you to get somebody off you with the jab, make your look cleaner. And what I mean by that is by, set that, put that stick on them long jabs, make them have to run in to something fresh. Make them have to run in like, God dang, he getting them jabs off. I got to run in there. Make them run into your combinations and keep doing what you're doing. Do your body work. If they don't want to fight you, then just move up. But just do your body work, get you a couple of good paychecks and get out of there. You should be getting paid more than what you're getting paid and everything else. I appreciate you as a fighter. I like to look at nice, clean boxers like that. You a fresh look for boxing. That's what I want to say. And good win. That guy couldn't take the body shots. They kind of threw him in there with a line. They threw him in there with you. You did what you had to do. You probably could have stopped him in one round, but you did what you had to do. He was trying the overhand, but he didn't have anything else to go with the overhands. If you're going to hit somebody, you better use the Arias approach. You better throw overhands and then smother them. Just get in there and get your work off. That was beautiful, too. We'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah, of course, we got to talk about it, right? The overhand, that's my deal right there, D-Lo 404. My deal is the overhand. The overhand will get your ass into a fight. The first round overhands will get you into a fight. I'm surprised more boxers don't do that. I'm surprised more boxers didn't see that Andre Ward did that. And that's what made Kovalev think that, Andre was on some kind of juice or something, because he started him off with the mental game was the overhand. He started him off with, you're going to start off with this, and then we're going to get into boxing. See, that's what he did. But the Badu fight and the Mayweather, yeah. Yeah. Derek Bailey says same here. I caught the last two fights. Okay. Okay, so you caught the y'all. You didn't see all the fights. Okay. Oh yeah, the Chad. Hey Chad. That's what we want to talk about. Chad Ochocinco. We're talking about him too. He's only gonna fight once. I've seen a lot of good things, man. He's a true athlete. I've seen some good things with him. His footwork was a little bad at times, getting kind of messed up on the footwork. But just, hey, he was putting some combinations together. He got the jab going good. The one thing he didn't do is get his hands back. Because he threw a good piece, hit the guy with a couple of good pieces, but he left that, he left that out there and he got clipped because he left it here. He was admiring. It's almost like the jump shot. You need to do the jump shot, and you just hold it like you hold it forever. The ball already went through the net, and you still doing this, like letting everybody know. Oh, y'all didn't think I could shoot. Y'all didn't think I knew how to hold the ball. Huh? Oh, Eagle don't know. Look, is that right? Am I doing it right? Huh? Y'all talking to an athlete. Stop it. Don't play an Eagle. But Ocho Cinco, yeah. You wanted to get that off your bucket list. You did good. Actually, I'll probably give you. I have to probably give it a draw. Let me see, maybe 3. Okay, so 3-1, but probably 2 points. Okay, so you pulled it off. You still would have pulled it off. So I would give Ocho Cinco the win by 1 point. That's what I got to do. So give him the 1 point win. He could have won 4 rounds to 0. But matter of fact, if he wasn't, he's not a boxer, but if he wasn't arm punching, he probably could have even got. I could see him, and he probably could have got a knockout. That's just in my estimation. Yep. But Derek Bay said, I know people who paid and it never connected for them. Oh, wow. See, that's sad. That happened to me with the Tank fight. Believe it or not, that's what happened. Tank's last fight, that's what happened to me. I was mad. Oh, man, it took me a while. I had to wait to watch it. I had to search until I can find some kind of foreign station that was playing it for free. And foreign stations treat us with respect. We just don't know what the hell they're saying when it comes to sports and boxing. We just don't know what they're saying in most cases. Like every once in a while, because I know languages, and sometimes I just listen like, okay, see what he's saying. Okay, I understand what he's saying. Because I speak different languages, but I don't always speak them. So a lot of times when I'm speaking to somebody, I got to listen real well so I can catch the rhythm of what they're saying. Okay, so that's Portuguese, and then I got to catch it. Or that's German, or that's Russian. I got to catch what they're doing. My community is like that. I have like everybody in my community. And matter of fact, that's my next step is to learn. I don't really know Russian like that, so I'm going to my neighbors and I'm gonna just learn Russian. 'Cause they right down the street. That's it. Yeah. That's bad if you don't get it. Yeah, D-Lo 404 said the goal was to see the end of the 8th. That's what his goal was. His goal was yep. Here we go though. But he wanted to see the end of that. The D-Lo put that out there. Say he wanted to see the end of that 8th. That's it. That was the whole idea coming in. See, that's what a lot of people are going to skip over that because they're thinking an exhibition fight. Oh, I didn't see much of a fight. No, you wasn't going to see much of a fight because you had to have 2 people fighting. And Mayweather overestimated his wildness. That we knew the guy wasn't going to be accurate and sticking Mayweather. That would have been like great. And my opinion is, you can get mad at my opinion or you get mad at somebody else's opinion, whoever's. I know for a fact if you put a strong enough stick out on somebody that they not coming in and just they timing it at the right time. And Badu Jack, if you put it, y'all don't believe me. I know y'all already know what I'm saying, huh? You guys already know what I'm saying. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. My jab that I always show you guys. You guys already know what's coming up. Let me show it. Let me show it. So you'll know that you don't just walk through a jab. Huh? Is anybody walking through that? Is anybody just walking through that jab right there? Are you timing that and getting through there, or is that like a piston? Is that like a piston? How many fighters can just walk through that? Larry Holmes in his prime. How many fighters just walk straight through that like it ain't there, or time it? Did you see the distance? Did you see the different angles that you threw into that? Besides that, sit your ass down. That's right, Derek Bailey. You ain't heard me say sit your ass down for a while. Sit your ass down. That's the sit your ass down. Boom. Yeah, I'm choosing a great one. Hell yeah, I'm choosing a great one to show you. Because he got the nice low jab. It's up high. Yeah, boom. Did you see the first two jabs came at one pace? That's all I want you to see. I want you to see that if fighters work on stuff like this, ain't nobody going to touch them. Watch the speed. Bam. Did you guys see that the first two jabs came at one speed? Besides the sit your ass down jab, but the two jabs came at one speed. Boom. 1, 2. Bam. And then he held it a little bit and he changed the velocity on it. He changed the velocity on it. Now, Eagle don't know what he's talking about. Changed the velocity on it. And then put his ass down. That's it. That's all it is. But let me go down to the bottom first, though. Because D-Lo404 said, Jack really showed us it was time for Adonis to move on. But he fought one fight too many. Yeah, there you go. But Jack still looked good. He's not slurring. He still talks the way that you need to talk. His boxer face looks like he still has some fights in him. Let me explain. A boxer's face, so a lot of people don't talk about a boxer's face. Let's talk about that. Then I'm going to read the rest of what y'all got. A boxer's face. So what happens to a boxer's face? Didn't happen to me, but because I still got this big thing here. I still got my nose. But what happens with a boxer's face? Well, it might be a little bit bigger or something. But what happens with a boxer's face is a boxer's face is a punching bag. And we don't want it to be a punching bag. And what happens is just like clay or anything else if you hit the clay, like the clay could be round. If you hit it, now your knuckles are imprinted in it. Guess what? Knuckles are imprinted in your face, or the glove is imprinted in your face as a boxer. It's not as dramatic, but over the years, what happens, like you have your face, let's say if this is my face. After a while, this starts to crack, and it starts to open up, and it starts to spread. So at one point, even if my nose might not have been completely broken, all the cartilage is beaten out of it. Now it's flat. So my nose is now spread. It's flat. Okay. Even up in here, this starts to spread open, and cheeks might either swell up or flatten out. It is just different things with a boxer's face. You got a boxer's face. Now, Badou Jack hasn't taken a whole lot of punishment, so his face is still normalized. A lot of fighters, they have a normalized looking face. Just like in wrestling, a fighter may have like these like swollen, twisted ears that don't even look like ears no more. They call them cauliflower ears. They don't look like ears no more. Fighters can get it too. But usually the face is kind of, swollen and it's flattened out. It only recovers so much because all the damage that's underneath the skin surface. And I don't want to talk too much about that, but I'm just saying. But he doesn't have that. Some fighters just don't get that boxer's face. If you look at them before and after they was fighting, you'll see that they have more of a boxer's face. But some fighters don't have that. And some fighters that don't have it, it could be misleading. They might have took more damage than what they needed to take. But anyway, yeah. But Derek Bay said Mikey want all the smoke. Yeah, Mikey want the smoke. But and Chad Ochocinco is the truth now. Hey, he the truth. D-Lo404, he said, yeah, Mikey want that rematch. He said often. He still need to see. He still sees something. Yeah, he see that dollar sign. And you got that right. Derek Bay said right at D-Lo404. Yeah, he cried. Of course. He see them damn dollar signs. And that's what he's going to go for. But I don't think he want that. I don't think he wants those dollars. Um, from Earl, he might fight somebody, but he don't want those dollars from Earl. Yeah, I hear my. Okay, I just hear my phone. I guess my medicine guy is calling back, but that's all right. I'll hit him back later. They know I'm doing this at this time. So let's go. Let's talk about Hurd. That was this out of all the fights, the expectation and the things that were done in the fights. The fights actually lived up to what they were supposed to be, with the exception. And I'm not even gonna talk about the Lemieux fight. I didn't really catch too much of it. We'll talk about Dubois a little bit, just a little bit. But the expectations about Hurd, all your Ohio fans. I know the Ohio fans are starving for a champ. I don't even remember the last time you really had a champ. A big name champ, like a champ. I think we had to go all the way back to Michael Dokes, and this is no shade to. I was almost called him Quincy, but to Sean Porter, I was gonna call him Quincy Porter. Instead of Quincy Taylor, Quincy Porter. And I know you guys are desperate. You guys are Ohio. The whole state is usually looked at as being the football state. You know what I mean? Even though you guys ain't really shit in the NFL. But your college programs, your collegiate programs are real great. And I know you guys are desperate and you want Hurd to do what he does, but Hurd has to just, I'm going to say it now, and people might think it's premature and it's early. He don't want to fight. Evidently he's going through a great training camp, but the thing is, on his own, he can't think of what to do. He's too easily startled out of his game plan. A couple of overhands, and it was over with. Arias had to fight from then on. Inside fighting. Hurd is big enough and got a strong enough jab. Don't rely on your uppercut for somebody to just get in there, because they're gonna get in there because they only gonna get hit with so many uppercuts, and you're gonna smother your work, because once they get you against the ropes, you can't drop down and shoot that uppercut up. And Arias knew that. You hurt him up. You hurt him bad. You could have put him out. And it had nothing to do with no hold. Shoulder his ass, get his ass off. You don't have the discipline to change your game plan up to get to a desperation mode to where, and maybe I'm just talking, right? A desperation mode to hey, get off me, man. I got to get this win. You don't have that. You just got the size. And you still taking all these shots. Why are you taking overhands? Why you taking so many shots? You gotta be like, no, dude, you gonna take my shots. You can't just take shots. You gotta be the one that's landing shots. Like, yeah, you gonna take my shots. Yeah, you're a punch recipient. What kind of boxing is that? You can't just be a punch recipient, man. You gotta do something else, brother. The divisions that you are messing around in are too dangerous for you to just be sitting there taking shots. And you already know that because you fought Harrison, right? And it's not always the biggest shots that hurt you. It's the ones that you don't see. And you got a lot of fast fighters at those divisions. They fast enough to get you. And you were talking a lot of smack about Charlo. Watching you fight the guy that you fought, Arias, you don't want any parts of Big Charlo. Matter of fact, Arias don't want no parts of him because he already talking about going down to 54. But then again, he don't want no parts of small Charlos. I don't get, you guys had the most dangerous division at 154. But now you guys are messing, this is within months. You guys are killing the division. Everybody's killing that division all at once. But then you got all these people talking about moving up to 154, moving up from with 154, moving up to and moving out, moving down. Y'all making all that division so y'all making that division weird. Why? Because Charlo about to get all the belts? Is that why y'all making it weird? I don't get you guys at 154 no more. And this is not even a year's worth of time that we have talked about it. I'm just like, you guys got me confused at 154. I'm confused now. We was trying to, because in here we try to, grown folks, we try to okay, so let's paint a picture. So I asked my brother D-Lo, I asked Derek, I asked somebody in here, let's paint a picture. Who's our top 4 at 154? And at one point you was in there, but then you just disappeared, and then you came back and fought a welterweight because he was faster. You was going to start doing boxing, and then you come back and you do completely something. You just come back and get beat up. I'm like, okay. And then you're begging for a knockdown. Get your ass out of here. You don't want to fight. Anytime you begging for a knockdown, they graced you with a knockdown that didn't happen, and then you want one that happened at the bell. You can't get that one. Maybe you did get it. Maybe you got that knockdown. You was going to still lose. Because if they switched them up, the real knockdown, I mean, that was at the bell anyway. And yeah, a punch landed. Yeah, so I understand. So I'm not hating. So you guys already know I'm not hating. Yep. Yeah. Derek Banks said old school fighters had cauliflower ears. Yeah, because they be in there banging. They be cracking them ears. You know, especially if you didn't have that skill set to block very much. Yeah. Yeah. Look at Derek. Derek said, I wish I saw the Herd fight. Can't use your face for defense. That's all he did. That's all he did, brother. Once you see it, which you'll probably see it this week, you might see it tonight. You're going to see it sometime. Once you see it, just look, and it's like you're going to be shaking your head. But I know you came right back and clowning. He said Ohio has AB, Eagle. And AB just got dismissed by a couple of YouTubers. So AB, if you got dismissed by a couple of YouTubers, let's go make that happen. Let's go make that happen, because they act like who AB? Who's that? They act like they didn't even know you. Make them know you. Go in there and really get that action. All you're gonna do is cover up and get beat up. They might actually fight you. They might not be scared of you. They scared of Floyd, but they might not be scared of you. You might end up losing. And then we really got to write you off. But you already wrote off for me though, because and plus I don't trust. I have to listen to your stories, which I don't trust you, and then I got to listen to outside stories, and I don't trust the outside stories. That you quit boxing, and you say to us on live television that you need Al Heyman to make sure that you set up with more fights. I don't know. It's too much. It's too many stories. It's just way too many stories. Way too many stories. Yeah, don't worry, brother. You're going to catch the replay, Derek. He's like, I want to catch that replay. Yep. Yep. Did my trolls, my phantom trolls come in? Let me check. No, the phantom trolls, I was late. They didn't catch the notification. So my phantom trolls didn't come in. They may still make it. But that's what it is, Derek. That's what it is. You can't be sitting there just catching punches with your face. And the reason I brought that up is because I was talking about, the prominent, like a heavy, somebody with a name that actually held on to a belt. If you're from Ohio, you can't hold on to a belt. They look, and I don't care, you can call it shade, whatever you want to call it, but you Ohio fighters got to do something else, man. Matter of fact, I apologize, because you did have an Ohio fighter at a lighter weight, and this is for 3 Eagles way of points. Anybody name the fighter from Ohio that actually held on to a belt for a period of time and not just gave a belt up within a year or two? Can anybody name that fighter? Can anybody name the fighter from Ohio? This is for 3 Eagles points to be cashed in at a later date. We can cash them in for something. I don't know exactly what yet, but we'll start doing that. Once the forum builds, this forum should have been built. I don't know, man. People come in here, they love it, then they leave, or they just. Most people love, but you have to pass it on. And see, Eagle stopped that about a year ago. I stopped really promoting, and that's my fault. I don't really tell people to. I tell you to, come in, smash the like button. If you see anything you like, then subscribe. I stopped that because you do see something you like, and just because you don't have the pressure to subscribe, you just don't. And I don't want you to have that kind of pressure. That's why my forum is not huge. But a lot of people come in here, Derek Bailey, they see us and they get excited. They say, why are you so low on participation? Or, a lot of people still come in here. Now, it dwindles down a little bit and it goes up, down. But eventually I'll get other people. Those other people will bring they will bring people with them. I don't know. I just have more of a personal approach. Because I want mostly decent people to come in here. I see people even if as low as like 2,000 people for their chat, just so they can get monetized or whatever like that. I don't really care as much about monetize. It just looks good. I don't care about the money part of it, because you can just give me $1 just so you can get your super chat. That's more for you guys. All that super chat and shit. That's more for you guys. That's not for me. That's more for you guys. You know what I mean? I tried to super chat Marlo's Corner the other day and it wouldn't let me. It just kept saying failed, but it didn't give me no option. I'm like, well, give me an option. I can give them. And I was trying to ask what the Cash App was on the way out. I didn't get it, but I'm not worried about it because I'll be able to donate to them somehow, because I'll catch like a show that's longer. When I get there in the beginning, then I'll just keep working on it until I can get them, support them, or whoever does anything. I try to support them. If you got something, you got live stream and I'm modded, you're modded, and I'm subbed to you, yeah, then we'll get it done. I try to sub to everybody. They sub to me, but some people just don't. Some people they just own YouTube. They have zero. They don't have no content, and some of them I still added. Even though they don't have followers and nothing, I still add those that I can find, because you can't find everybody now. Just when you first start, you can. Yeah. Everybody said no, they didn't show up. Well, that's good, brother. Shit, I ain't trying to hope that they show up, man. Shit, I'm just saying. Yeah, but Heard, you gotta do something else, man. That might be what you need to do, man. You might need to just get out of boxing. Man, you might need to get out of boxing. I'm just saying that. This might for your own good, man. You don't need to, running your health. Maybe you're just not in a mental place that you felt you should be at. Maybe you're not there. Yep. But the Floyd Mayweather fiasco, y'all gotta look at it for what it is. That's what you gotta look at it, man. It's just that I think he was trying to do a good thing to promote. It would have worked. It would have worked, and it would have been like all kinds of memes, different kinds of memes. It would have been fun, even though I kind of don't like you in there, because it wasn't competitive enough. We need to see you in there getting your ass knocked out so we can say goodbye to you, or we need to see you actually knocking out somebody who's an ex-fighter or something like that, that's close to age to you or something like that. Maybe you have, I'll say, 4 to 6 years on them. Maybe that'll be entertaining, because then they'll bring the dog out in you, because they're still in their 30s. They still got some dog left in them. Maybe somebody who's 37. Maybe like Badu Jack. That still has that kind of action in them. Maybe that would have been more refreshing, but you didn't have the proper person. Well, you might have had the proper person. That would have been David and Goliath, but Goliath was fucking chicken. I don't care if somebody can get mad. You can say what you want to. Believe me, I was observing his face when he was in there. His whole expression. Once he got caught in the body a couple times. He got caught in the face. His whole expression changed. He might have been in there trying to clown, but what he was walking around that, he was going to try to make Mayweather run him down. Mayweather doesn't run people down. He don't run you down. He liked for you to come at. He wanted to be able to get some hands on you. And just think how scary you was. And this is a welterweight. And you act like, oh yeah, you going to take over. You just slowly getting into boxing. You should have did some kind of amateur stuff first. You can't just, if you're going to do exhibitions, do a different type. They got different leagues of boxing. before you get all the way up there and start messing with these boxers. Because what's gonna happen if you fight a boxer that's your size, like even somebody old, you talking about fighting somebody who's old, then you should have picked on Ortiz. You should have picked on Ortiz since you're heavyweight. And then we would have seen what you was made of, which would have been cotton, and your fans would have still followed you on YouTuber, being a YouTuber, but everybody else would have just dismissed you. But Hurd, I'm sorry, man. Ocho Cinco looked better than you, Hurd. A lot of people get mad at you. No, he didn't look better than him. Yeah. Ocho Cinco didn't even take all them punches. He went down, but wasn't taking punches like that. Hurd was getting hurt and battered. He was getting battered. It was like a madman battering the wife, man. I'm sorry, man. You got your ass battered. It wasn't even close. You got battered. You got battered by a guy that I'm gonna get on you a little bit, man. You got battered by a guy that's smaller than you. He just battered you. It was assault and battery. He needs to go to jail for that. He just battered you, and you took it. And you was trying to beg for a win at the end. No respect for you on that. I can't respect that kind of a performance because there's better things you should have been able to do. The better things you should. If you're a professional fighter, your skill set cannot be that low. Your reactive skill set cannot be that low. And I know I'm kind of going off on him a little bit, but I was disappointed. I'm disappointed, man. Your fake. Who did you go and clock me? Okay, so let's talk about Daniel Dubois. So Daniel Dubois. The 7-piece was pretty decent. The 7-piece that ended it was 2 small ones. Boom, boom. I'll give it to you replay. 2 small ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what it was. That's what it was. See? That's what it was. That's what it was. That's what it was. And so that was the finisher. But Dinu just wasn't a great opposition. Wasn't great opposition. And that fight was so short that I'm not going to say that we got enough of a fight in order to see if you're really back. But it may have been a confidence booster. And maybe that's all you needed. But I think you may still have some of that panic mode in you. And see, just like I said with Jared Hurd, is you fighters have to have your reactive response to your opposition has to be proper. Because then that kills our whole elite good fighters and stuff. That kills that, because what happens is and I could probably put Earl Spence pretty high. A lot of people won't put him high, but he still can adapt. The thing about it is you have to be able to adapt. Now, there's exceptions. I'm not going to go over all the exceptions. But if you can adapt and change to win, elite. If you adapt and change and lose, you're not elite. If you can keep doing what you're doing and still win no matter what somebody else does, that's elite. And that's what Earl does, because Earl, I'm going to still do what I do and win. I'm going to do something else and win. If you're versatile, then you're versatile. But Daniel Dubois, you and Hurd, I think you guys aren't reactive. You're not reactive boxers. You're not reactive to what your opposition is doing. So in other words, you're not going to have another, so that you can get your game plan knocked out of you. Do I have to say it that way? So in other words, your game plan can get knocked out of you. If your game plan is knocked out of you, what do? Oh, I lost my game plan. Yeah, of course you lost your game plan. It got beat out of you. And you cannot have your game plan getting beat out of you. Oh, I better switch this up. That's any sport, you got to switch it up. If there's a pitcher on the mound, he's throwing 98-mile-an-hour fastballs, but everybody is used to it, then he got to do some kind of change up, right? If he has 3 or 4 good pitches that he can throw, matter of fact, let's just say he has a screwball, a knuckleball, or something like that, or he has a slider, a great slider. Now, most pitchers with a great slider aren't really, they don't have a great fastball. But let's say there was a pitcher that had a great slider and a great fastball. Okay. So, is he going to throw a curve and a fastball all during the whole match? All during the game? Hell no. He's going to change that shit up. You're going to get sliders until y'all learn how to hit it. Then you might go back to a fastball. Because when you're asking for something, and see, baseball is a good sport to use. Because I'm ready to hit, I'm like, shit, I hope this is a fastball. I'm ready for it. I hope it's a fastball. And he's sliding on me. I'm like, oh, see? And that's the kind of frustration you get as a fighter. And see, you studied, you sit there, oh yeah, we studied, okay, coach. You studied all that tape, but guess what? The guy came out completely different. Oh shit, but I didn't have a reactive game. Baseball is good in one way to bring this point across, but it's bad in another way because, still good because my reactive to sliders, I didn't work on sliders because this guy, last time he was throwing nothing but fastballs. Now he gets in there, he's throwing sliders. Now, you've been practicing all week long, or at least a few days for the pitcher that was going to pitch fastballs. Now he's throwing sliders. Now you're in trouble. So, same time. You thought that the fighter was going to fight you a certain way at Arias at Hurd. And he comes over and disrupts you. But your reactive boxing game is not on point. You have to be a reactive boxer and then not just react, but then you have to change up. You have to react. So reacting, that's one part of it. And then you have to adjust. So you make your adjust. I'm reactive. Okay, so I'm going to adjust to what you're doing. And that's how you could put in that's the scenario of game plans. Now, we wouldn't expect somebody like Ocho Cinco to have a game plan. His first fight, he's just bucket list. He just wants to go in and do what he does. He didn't have game plans. He got called a couple of times, got a little bit wild, but he had foot moves. Did okay. He did okay. Didn't get them things back, but one and done. One and done. But Dubois, we got to see you again. At least me. A lot of people completely cut you off. I would say it to you like this. If you keep the team that you had now, those pieces of the puzzle and things I talked about, the reaction and stuff like that, it's probably not going to happen for you. I can't suggest who you get in your corner, but you need somebody else in your corner because you're built for it enough. As far as getting that Lions attitude, that's something that you have to do. Nobody can just give that to you to where, you got to take me out on the stretcher because I don't know how your face is going to hold up, but you can, like I said, I was even doing specials on you guys that you European fighters, y'all just can't take it, but that was a little harsh on my part. But sometimes I'm harsh because it's grown folks. Okay, yeah, there we go. Derek Brady said the way Trey was calling the fight really made me want to see it. Oh, yeah. Trey, a lot of times I listen to Trey. When I'm watching the fight and I listen to Trey, I'm like, I say, Trey be overdoing it. He a showman, man. You guys already know. Trey, I love him, man, but Trey be overdoing it. He just, but it's exciting. He calls the best, one of the best. He's probably in the top top three as far as like announcing fights, at least in the U.S. Other places we can't really see, because some of those guys are real good. Like the guys that call in Spanish, and some of the other guys, they really good. They really good. I listen to him real closely. No shade to him, no knocking him. He's good. He's real good. He's crack. He makes me laugh more than anything. He makes me laugh, but it's just because he explains he explains what it is. A lot of times when he talks about the Marquez of Queensberry rules and stuff like that, he said that's not in part of the Marquez Queensberry rules and stuff like that. But yeah, the Marquez Queensberry rules. See, when people talk about that, Derek Bailey, they miss the big point that I told you guys about. Because first of all, like the Mayweather match, that wasn't under the, even if it's an exhibition or whatever it is, it wasn't under the Marquez of Queensberry rules. It was not. And I explained that very quickly. Is that because when you're fighting under Marquez of Queensberry rules, the point is that you have an evenly matched fight. They have to be close, and the opposition has to be close. And that's why a lot of these fighters get in trouble a lot of times, because they want to move up too quick, and then they're outmatched, outclassed, and that's why we get the fights that we got. So based on that alone, we get a lot of fights that we shouldn't even get. We get a lot of fights we shouldn't even get. It's all, man, that wasn't. Styles make no fight. The Eagle said it a lot of times. Style make no fight. And that's what happened. A lot of times you come in and style make no fight. Style either make a fight or style make no fight. We come in and it's like, damn, style ain't made that wasn't no fight. Of course it wasn't. Because the styles make fights and styles make no fight. And that's what we got to suffer through sometimes. But I think I covered everything. I didn't cover the Lemieux or nothing like that. Yeah, all quick. I didn't really cover the ball. This is 7-piece, and that was it. A round in less than a minute into the second round. So not enough that you showed us your opposition. You didn't show us enough, but we got to see what you can do. Yeah, we got to see what you can do. Okay, look at King. Yeah, King just got it. King said salute fair. He said you two ain't sending notifications. No, I see you guys got my the update that I did, because I told you I was gonna come in a little bit. I was coming in late today. You guys at least got that, because you guys always respond. King Louis responded. I think D-Lo responded, and then you responded. You know what I mean? But this whole reactive thing too, though. Just right back on that just for a second. But the whole reactive thing is that you have to. These fighters are going to have to, and we can't talk about a fighter having game plan A, B, C, D, E, F if he's not a reactive fighter. Hurd is just not a reactive fighter. He doesn't react to change his game plan. The way he reacts is I'm gonna go back to my old self. And that's, you just get beat up, going back to your old self. Yeah, but we get what we got. We got what we got this over the weekend on Sunday. If you expected more, I actually think everything lived up to what it. The only thing that didn't live up to what it was supposed to be was Hurd. To me, that's my opinion. That's the only thing over the weekend that didn't live up to what my expectations was. Because Mayweather, I didn't really have expectations, because either the guy was going to come in and fight, or he was going to just hold and just hug and and pretend, and that's all he did. And I thought, because Mayweather probably thought the same thing. He's gonna come lunging in and just go crazy, try to knock me out and get tired, and then I'm gonna clip him. Same thing he did with Conor McGregor. Because one thing you gotta know about Mayweather, his ring IQ is very high, and I don't like to mess with him. I don't even like to call his name out. But when you go back and look at some of his fights, the way he fights people, he just got his ring IQ is just something else. It's like, why is he fighting this guy? People just don't have close matches. He probably let some of the people have closer matches because of something that he did that he shouldn't have done. But when he does what he's supposed to do, the fights aren't even close. It's like, are you kidding me? He had Canelo. He made Canelo just freeze up like a deer in the headlights. It's like, Canelo, what that? But now Canelo's talking like how he was born ready. Then if you was born ready, why wasn't you born ready against Mayweather? I'm gonna always fry your sentiment ass about that. I'm always gonna get on you about that because you was born ready. If you was born ready, how come Charlo didn't never get to smoke? If you was born ready, you're a fraud. You might be good and people are overpraising what you do. I can't overpraise you until you get your unfinished business done. Once I see you get your unfinished business done, and then I can maybe give you some thumbs up. But you didn't have too many close ones, and you had too many avoidances for somebody who's born ready. That don't sound like somebody who's born ready. Because usually we get stories on fighters like that. Oh, the fighters say, "Oh, I knew I was going to be a champ when I was 8 years old." Evander Holyfield will tell you that he knew he was going to be a champ ever since he was 8 years old. But what happened afterwards is he took a loss at 11 years old, and then after he took that loss, he didn't think that boxing, he was cut out for boxing. But the whole thing was that the story was that he was told that you're not a loser and you should quit. Uh-oh. That's knowledge right there. That's prophetic. That's something you need to live by. Is that you're not a loser until you just quit. When you just give up and quit, like people do even in households and families, you give up and you just quit instead of changing your formula. Sometimes you got to change. Oh, I better change this. Because sometimes it's not the person around you. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's not. I mean, it's circumstantial. But sometimes you just got to do a whole move. Like some people, you might have to move out of your whole city, out of your state. Sometimes you got to move. I got to get out this whole environment because it's just like this whole thing here is killing me. But I think Hurd has to just, either you're going to have to hang them up. I can't really give you chances because you took 2 chances yourself. And they say 3 strikes, you're out. And I'm not waiting for the 3rd strike. You fought a welterweight to get your confidence up, and then you go fight somebody else, and then I see that you can't react. You can't change your game plan. I'm done. I'm done with that. I ain't going to mess with that no more. Dubois, like I told everybody before that I said he's not the business. He's not the goods. But the thing about Dubois, I haven't really given up because you put especially Dubois. I didn't really give up on Dubois, but what I did is I have no expectation. Is that giving up? I have no expectation of you doing something that's like high end. Like I don't see you as ever being like elite in your situation where you're at now. I don't see you as being elite. That's all I was saying. I don't see him as being elite where he's at. Yeah. But Mayweather robbed us. Yeah, some of us. He didn't rob me. But he robbed, like Derek Bates said, last night when I see you in the chat room, he's like, no, he didn't rob me, Eagle. No, hell no, he didn't rob me. But y'all seen it was coming. You got to have somebody who's willing to bring a fight in order for you to get a fight. So it was either going to be an exhibition, or it was going to be a sparring match, or it was going to be a fight. Or it was going to be a little bit less than that. And it ended up being all of them. It ended up being sparring. It ended up being a little bit of a fight. It was less of a fight. Not sparring. It was parts. It had all kinds of parts in it. It was audience participation. It's like somebody just came out the audience and started fighting. It was boxing at some points. Like you could see glimpses of boxing, glimpses of sparring, glimpses of exhibition, and glimpses of somebody just got in the ring. That's all. That's what it was. That's what it was. It is what it is. But Derek Bagley, I salute the King, but King says salute family. YouTube ain't sending a notification. And then Derek Bagley down at the bottom saying that's true. Because Eagle said something prophetic again. No. But that's what it is, man. But hopefully we're going to get these good fights. But the point that I made about the whole Marquess of Queensberry rules. Now, if we take that, not us personally, but if they take that into consideration when it comes to professional fights that we watch, then we get to watch good fights. Listen to what I'm saying. We get to watch good fights at different levels because in the Marquis of Queensberry rules, the fights are supposed to be evenly matched. So if just think about it, if you got two people with the same type of a skill set, you probably gonna watch a good fight. But if you got somebody with zero skill set or a skill set that doesn't really match up, and you put them in there with a champ, it's just not gonna be. The fight's not gonna be good. It's gonna be a styles that don't make a fight. Like Canelo's last fight, that wasn't really matching up with Canelo, even though the guy was doing good against Canelo for a while, but it just didn't match up. Canelo, you need to match up with somebody that's gonna test that's really gonna be a test. Stop acting like you so hard and get that unfinished business done, because I'm not gonna be riding with you until you get the unfinished business done. Yeah. Oh, King didn't give me my thumbs up. How you gonna leave my thumbs out, King? You gonna come straight into the chat. I should be up to at least 5, 6 by now. At least I can get my downs. Anybody give me thumbs down? I understand why you got Down syndrome. I understand that, but ain't no problem with that. No problem with that. But you know what? We got in here, and we got to get up out of here, man. I know it's Monday. I got to run and go do. I got to go run and do a few things. There go D-Lo right back. He saluting out the King. Yeah, King left my thumbs up out. D-Lo. He didn't murderize the thumbs up on his way in. I don't even know if King's in here still. He haven't said nothing. He came in and said, how much did he say? No, he didn't say too much. Yeah, he didn't say too much since he's been in here. But anyway, yeah, I always appreciate all y'all that come through. I make sure, if you just talking to somebody, make sure that you tell people about King. Make sure you tell people about D-Lo 404, and make sure you tell people about Eagles Wear Boxing. Those are real boxing channels, or just real chat. Whatever we talk about, we keep it. Our passion for whatever we do is our passion. We're very passionate about what we do. We might not have all the answers, and we might not explain stuff the way that everybody wants it to be explained all the time, but we try our best, at least, and we try to stay as genuine as we are to ourselves. Matter of fact, I have interactions with my mods want to have interaction with me. I have interactions with them. I know how to contact them. We're gonna email or call or something like that. Whatever it is, we're gonna, that's how we are. And you could be part of that too. I mean, a lot of the channels don't want to get close to people. I don't mind. I mean, you're not laying next to me in my bed like a lot of these people are with some of these fighters. You're not laying in the bed next to me, but at least you know I have a bed. You know what I mean? And there's another way, another outlet. And I know people want me to do other things. I got a lot of stuff on my plate, but I know people want me to do other things because there's other things to talk about than just boxing and stuff. Because this world, not just the United States, is in just a hellish state. And there's a lot of little problems that has to start on such a small level, just within the family itself, and then the community. Everything has to build up a little bit better than the way it is, man. And a lot of the work, people don't like for me to say this, but you have to do your own research, man. You can't listen to all the historians from that they suggest that you listen to. And just maybe I give some words out that look into the wars of, you can look at wars or just war of, find as much information as you can. War of 1591, and maybe you'll find even your people. Maybe you'll find that your people, your ancestry, may go back to the War of 1591. And just throwing that information out. There's more information than just that, but I like to give out information because people always listen to a lot of things. Matter of fact, I had something else I needed to send. Dang, there. A lot of this information I get that leaves, and because I'm just running, I got to copy. I got to go from one thing to another, try to get it to you guys. But I think you would enjoy it though if I get it. Yeah. Let me see what D'Lo got. He said Canelo ain't gonna do right. He doesn't have to. They like him just as he is, as he does. Yep, you're right. That's and see, and D'Lo makes a good. You guys think it's like simple points, but the simple points a lot of times have the biggest meaning. And when D'Lo puts that down, that makes a lot of sense, man. It's just that Canelo, he's gonna be a showman, like just a talker. He's not gonna fight the fights that you got that we really want. He's gonna win fights, but if he's that great and has that much a skill set, and if he is born ready, he should be getting this business done that he need to get done. I'm just saying, man, because this okay, let's go completely crazy right now. Let's say, for instance, that somebody like even a lot of people don't think he has that much of a skill set like Deontay Wilder. Let's say, for instance, he made 175, and he said, "I'm coming down to 175 to meet Canelo." Do you think, as a light heavyweight, you think Canelo would have dared fought him? Yeah, we're in a bad era for boxing right now, but we got to try to make the best of it. It's just not the greatest era, but it can be. It can be good. Like I said, even the Mayweather fight could have been good. We needed to see Mayweather, whether you like him or not, we needed to see Mayweather knock this guy out, but this guy needed to be a participation in there. He needed to be a participant. He needed to bring his ass forward, throw crazy ass punches, and try to take Mayweather out like we was all hoping. So eventually he'll get tired, or even if he'll make a mistake and get, countered in the beginning. Yeah, I gotta find this one though. There, you said send it through. Yeah, I gotta find it, man. It's a good one. I wrote it. I'll try to explain to people, but man, just don't get it. And a lot of the stories that they tell, if I tell you a story, like I said, a lot of stories that they tell is just not as accurate as what you think. Just like if I tell you a story and I change the story, there's not a lot of words I have to change for the whole story to be completely contrary to the other story. If I told you a story about a cat climbing trees and doing, what cats do, and then I just switched the characters, the story could either kind of parallel with the first story, or it could just be way off base. Like what? It could just make you confused the whole way. I hope that makes sense to you. So if I did a story about a cat, like his daily whatever he did, climbing trees and getting rid of all the pests in the yard, eating his food, taking his nap, playing with butterflies or whatever. Now I did that whole thing, leaving, doing his little perimeter walk. I did a whole story about him. Now I changed the cat in the story and I put squirrel. You'd be like, what the hell kind of squirrel was that? It'll confuse you. The first part of the story would go right because you'd be like, because you'll say, oh, the squirrel climbed the tree. What's so big about that? Ain't no big deal. But then when he killed rats in the perimeter, what? It wouldn't make sense. But in essence, that's what has been done with us. That's what has been done. I'm just letting you know. That's been done to all the I'm saying we're just not in good shape like people think we are. We're just not. And it causes us to harm ourselves. It causes us to stress. And it causes our life to not be what it should be. The freedom, knowledge is the freedom. Like true knowledge. There's only one that can give you true knowledge, but just to, even if it's something that's an alternative to what you heard, that can give you freedom to think for yourself. Like, nah, it might not. That can give you the freedom to feel that it may be true or not be true. Because even in this boxing picture, something's going to be true, something's not going to be true. Earl Spence going to fight Pacquiao. There's some stories just going to be true, and there's some stories just going to be just opinions. But in the beginning, they're all opinions, right? When they're all opinions to start, we feel, oh, well, that's just opinion. But afterwards, we're going to see If Pacquiao gets knocked the hell out, we see, no, well, I guess Pacquiao wasn't. And I don't want to hear no excuses. It's not. There's no excuses. He just wasn't what you thought he was against Earl. Same thing with Earl. Earl gets knocked out. Or he just wasn't the same thing against Pacquiao. And for me, no memes and nothing like that. I don't care. I don't care. I just want us to get a good fight. But I do need one of them to get KTFO though. That's just for me. I need that to happen. Will it happen? I don't know. I need it to though. I need it to happen just so we can get some, because I'm tired of having these debates after the fight. We got, oh yeah, such a he won. Nah, man. I'm tired of having these arguments after the fight. Who won? It's good to have, but I'm just, when I say I'm tired of it, I like it, but I don't want to just have that as the discussion all the time. Because you got Ohio fans right now that think that Hurd won. No, you got your ass smashed up. You took your ass a s'more smash down. You got beat up. You got beat up because you're not a reactive fighter. And when I say you're not a reactive fighter, you're not a reactive fighter in the sense that you're going to change what you do in order to get the results that you need. So we got to stop hearing from you when you don't call out Charlo. Charlo going to beat you up worse. Yeah, Charlo's going to beat you up worse. And you might not be able to take the same kind of punishment. Because Charlo he's going to counter you. If he sees somebody beat you up like that, he'll probably beat you up similarly to Arias, the way he beat you up. He'll do the same thing, but then he'll make sure you walk into something. That's one of the main reasons that Canelo don't want to fight one of them Charlos, is because at one point he's going to get countered really severely. That's what he's thinking about. He's not worried about their boxing skill as much, but he know I'm going to get countered a couple of times. You're going to get countered more than once. You're going to get countered a bunch of times and it's not going to feel good. That's what you're afraid of. Because most fighters don't just counter you. You just counter them. And you're going to get countered. The counter is going to get countered. But anyway, man, my shout out to all the real people that I see. And my shout out to all y'all that mess with me. We'll try to get this done on time. I'm going to have to check this program out before I start. And D to the Bailey, I'm going to try my best to find that information. It should be, and you know when I do it, it's quick. So I'll check on it like when I get out of here. I'll check on it, man. This is Monday. Y'all know what it is, man. Nothing but blessings. Yep. I'm going to catch y'all, man.